Today in the crypto space, we see the market showing some strength. Bitcoin going sideways right around that $63,400. Ethereum coming down to a little bit of a dip, down approximately 2%. However, guys, the altcoins are doing pretty good. Some of them are still going sideways within structure, looking for a continuation. However, we have others that are showing a lot of strength, like Thorchain, Rune. We have Say, WLD, Ondo's doing pretty good, and many others. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to give you guys a quick update on a project that is looking pretty good and hit its target, and that project is called Spectral. So you know what, let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here. We see that the market cap is still in a slow grind to the upside. Yes, we're seeing a bit of volatility. Yes, we came down for a slight dip. Let's refresh this to make sure that we're getting the most current data. Slight dip to the downside with regards to market cap, but still right around that 2.3 trillion, which is totally fine. We're still within range. We're at the bottom of this little range that you can see, or this channel that you see here, but we're still doing okay, right? No change of direction just yet. Trading volume coming down ever so slightly. That's, you know, fine. Not the greatest look. We want to see a continuation to the upside. We need to see that strength in the market participation. We want to see more volume come in. So let's see what happens in the next little while. Obviously, we're seeing Bitcoin kind of go stagnant as well, and this is obviously why we're seeing the market cap kind of go sideways as well. You know, it would be very important to see Bitcoin slowly grind to the upside if we want to see market cap growth, or we need to see Ethereum and the rest of the altcoins show tons of strength to make up for the fact that Bitcoin is going sideways. We need that market cap rise. We need capital to flow into the alts at least. And at the current moment, we're seeing some of the altcoins show some strength. Ethereum still kind of going sideways. Solana, you know, reaching to the top, pretty good, looking for that breakout. BNB rolling over a little bit, guys. BNB, you can't complain. BNB has been killing it. BNB has been doing great. You know, if you look at BNB structure and what it has been doing even throughout the bear market, guys, BNB has no chill. It's been doing so great. So at the end of the day, what's 2.8% to the downside? Absolutely nothing. Let's keep on going down. We do see a lot of good projects. Cardano finally waking up, 15% to the upside, although today was one of those sideways, you know, boring days. I'll admit market has been a bit quiet. There are a few good gainers here and there, as I mentioned. We have Sheeb waking up a little bit. Chainlink has been doing pretty good, 3.8% to the upside, breaking out, which is really nice for Chainlink, of course, and all of us that are holders. Polkadot grinding away 3.7%, so some of those sleeping giants obviously waking up a little bit. Near Protocol taking a bit of a break. Do we come down for a short-term dip? Do we go sideways? Do we get a structure that's a bit wider than the current scenario that we're in? Which is absolutely fine. Even if we came down a little bit and create some sort of a pennant, a triangular formation, a flag of some sort, all of those at this point would be a continuation pattern, if anything. So let's just be patient. We know that Near has been doing very well, has been grinding up very well. So if you're in some profit, you know, you have to be able to understand that the market's working with peaks and valleys, and maybe it's time to see Near Protocol take a bit of a dip. Obviously, guys, join me tonight at 8 p.m. EST. We can take a look at all these projects. You can make those requests, and I'll take a look at charts, and we'll figure out the setups for the days to come. Let's keep on going down. What else do we got here? We got BitTensor, again, kind of going sideways. Some of the projects that have been running, expect pullbacks and expect continuations, or at least some sort of structure to form. That's what we want to see, at least. What else we have? Filecoin waking up, Injective waking up 4.2% to the upside. Great stuff there. You know, margin positions right now are definitely good ideas. Obviously, building positions with low leverage and a little bit of margin to give you that flexibility, just in case we do get dips along the way. They will definitely be long-term holds. We have Thorchain Rune up 5.5% today. Great gainer, nice little breakouts along the way. Say doing pretty good as well. 18.8% in the last 24 hours, guys, and currently in a bull flag. Say is on fire, 67% to the upside, and guys, the list goes on. So we cannot say at the current moment the altcoins are not doing well. In fact, they are, despite, you know, the Bitcoin dominance not falling really hard. We're seeing that if you're in the right narratives, if you're in the right projects, you're definitely doing well, guys. And if you want to go check out my videos that I have, guys, I've been covering a lot of these hot narratives, these hot projects, you know, in the last while that could have gave you that edge. So make sure you go check them out. Make sure you join the Discord. A lot of good information there to make sure that you're one step ahead of the market. By the way, guys, look at Arweave. I think Arweave is doing pretty good. It did backtest that breakout. It looks like it's getting a bit of trading volume. The question is, are we going to start changing character right now? It does look like it could be possible, so be prepared. I know the other day I did release the video saying, look, we could come down for that pullback because the maturity of the structure is not there. But guess what, guys? The market doesn't promise you anything, and if you're getting signals of a backtest and a bounce, you know, it's time to take full advantage of the opportunity. Arweave right now is looking pretty good. All right, guys, let's move on. I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin first as a leading indicator, and then we'll jump right into the Spectral chart. SPEC is the ticker. What is going on with SPEC? And of course, what's going on is that we're seeing de-risking on some projects. Projects that have been running significantly and that have been doing very, very well are going to get de-risked based on Bitcoin's lead. And let me show you what I mean here. Bitcoin at the end of the day is doing fine, right? We're doing fine here on Bitcoin. In fact, you know, big picture, I'm just going to repeat it really quickly. Bull flag to the upside, broadening wedge, you know, obviously has a bullish bias. We're in structure. We're at, you know, somewhat of a level that we're on the top half, above the 200 daily EMA. We're above the horizontal support. We're doing great. Let me zoom in. And if you zoom in and you start getting maybe into lower time frames, maybe on the 4 hour, you can see that we're still good as well. You know, this is a bull flag as of now. As of now, we can classify this as a bull flag because we're in a structure going sideways. We're not breaking below previous lows. We are getting some decent volume, market participation. But what's more interesting is that this market participation is here while the price is making higher highs and higher lows. That is an indication of accumulation, right? Why else would demand be outperforming supply? Because people are accumulating and not selling off totally, and that's why we're upwards trending while all this volume is coming in, giving us signals of market participation. Definitely interesting. Now, if we do break below, I am aware of the weak spots. Let's kind of look at that. There's a bit of a volume gap right into here that I would be concerned about. Just keep that in mind. This is why I have this little green arrow here to suggest, look, if we come down, we might be interested on this back test to scale in, especially on some of the altcoins. We have the 200 EMA here on the 4 hour, just kind of like doing its thing. Maybe we do get that bounce, but I'm keeping an eye on this because really what could happen here is a short squeeze. You know, if we do see a lot of shorts enter, why not squeeze to the upside? And would be an ideal place to cause that pain, given the fact that if we do move to the upside, a lot of people will be left behind, not getting to the $70,000 level with the market and feeling that FOMO, because ultimately, if we start breaking around this zone, breaking to the upside around this zone, what happens is that we start breaking out of that big picture structure that we talked about on the daily. So keep in mind, guys, now is the time to make some critical decisions. We have our invalidations on Bitcoin, and as Bitcoin fluctuates within this structure, expect volatility in the altcoin market. And this is why we are seeing some projects such as SPEC take a bit of a pullback. It's because there are some individuals that are looking at this and saying, you know what, I'm not going to take risk right here. You know, last time we were at this level, we rolled over. I'm not going to take risk. Even on a short-term dip, you know what? I'm de-risking on my major, you know, volatile assets, low cap, micro cap projects. I'm going to be de-risking. That is what people are thinking at the current moment. But guess what, guys? As soon as we do get this bull flag to rise to the upside, and if we do, those altcoins will make massive recoveries and continuations to the upside as well, right? This is what we have to understand. So this is why I'm going to continue looking for those bottom dwelling altcoins. They're at the bottom of the range, good risk to reward ratio opportunities, good fundamentals, and of course, guys, Spectral is one of them. All right, guys, let's continue. Let's take a look at SPEC. What's going on with SPEC? You know, the TA was good. Guys, if you missed out on my deep dive on Spectral, go check it out. I do release deep dives every Sunday. We cover a lot of different projects. Spectral was definitely one of them. And you know what? I appreciated it. I really did appreciate what the team was building. So this is the reason why I suggested, look, if you buy into this level, great. If we do come down, you want to be prepared to DCA a little bit more, because this is the ultimate level of invalidation where the risk to reward ratio is at its best. Unfortunately, we weren't able to pack our bags to the fullest down here. And guess what? You have to be okay with it. A good trader understands that there's scenarios that are out of our control, and there are scenarios that we're willing to accept because we are trying to mitigate risk. Right? It would have been too risky to get all in at this level, all in, pile in, because what about if it did come down? You would have got a decent little discount down here. But guess what? It didn't happen. So we have to be okay with it, because our job is to protect our initial investment. Our job is to protect our capital. And this is the reason why the DCA is very healthy at these levels. Now that we have some position, now that we have some exposure right around $5.42, more or less, we are looking at this nice, explosive move to the upside with tons of volume, enough volume to suggest that this pullback should get bought up real quick. I mean, you get what I mean? Now, obviously, I'm not saying to buy in right now. Okay, what I'm trying to say is we are at a level where we need to pay attention. Why? Because we hit targets. We broke out of the volume gap. You can see the empty space is no longer as weak as it was. But in addition to that, we hit the top of the volume gap perfectly, like absolutely on the dollar, pretty much, which gives us an indication that TA currently is being respected. Guys, go check out this. This setup has been posted on the Discord. I keep all my setups on the Discord for future reference, so that if you want to go back and kind of like study what happened, go check it out, because it's a great way to kind of back test, certain TAs, certain, structures and so on. But at this current moment, it's very dangerous to get into fresh longs. It's not that bad because we got a rejection, and of course you're getting a bit of a discount. If you look at where we are right now, we're down approximately 14% more or less, which is not bad. Okay, 14% dip from the previous high. But I guess a lot of us are thinking, could we come down a bit lower? The next level of support could be a little bit lower. Obviously, down here at about $8, it's very possible. But what would be the best thing to do at the current moment is wait for structure. Okay, let's wait for structure. Let's wait for a confirmation of this potential back test, because as of now, we are in a clear dip. But what I mean by wait for structure is this. Let's wait for some sort of pattern right here. It could be a symmetrical triangle, ascending, descending. It could be a bull flag. It could be a retracing channel that looks like a bull flag. It can be a megaphone pattern. It could be so many structures. But at least with a structure in place, you know how to mitigate your risk. Because I'm going to ask you this. If you get in right now, where are you going to put your stop loss? That's the problem. Where are you going to put your stop? There's no clear level of putting any stop loss anywhere right now. So that's the risk you're taking, is that you're going to be going in without any support levels below to act as that support just in case, right? So you're going to have to be clear about that. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't buy small bags, because small bags is definitely one way to mitigate your risk. If it's a small bag and we come down further, it's not going to hurt that much because your position size is small. So one thing to consider right now is that you could get some exposure based on, a bit of FOMO that you may have, and you want to have some exposure. But I would be waiting for structure to deploy heavy capital to get into the majority of my position. So again, structure, it could be a bull flag, a symmetrical triangle, whatever the case may be. In addition to this, it could be a continuation down, where eventually we get a nice little bottom and then we roll to the upside. And this would be a nice back test to confirm, that we're using previous or historical price action, previous tops, previous levels of volume, like right around here that begin all this volume, as support. Okay, so if we can kind of come down, let me just make this a bit neater. If we do come down and, roll over, it's because we're getting support in all this market participation. And this is where a bit of liquidity hunts could be made. A lot of people holding definitely could be capitulating at this level. But as soon as we see that the bears are no longer strong and there's no people selling, in fact there's people buying, we're going to see a shift. So there's two scenarios. Again, flag it out, give us structure, or continue coming down and give us that support level where we can, start DCAing in an accumulation range, where we start to see, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handles, Adam and Eve patterns, things like that with good volume, and we slowly start getting that transition with bullish divergences down here. Obviously, all those things can exist here, but you're going to see that this is going to be a bull flag structure, which is a lot more bullish, with a bullish bias almost instantly, because we can continue to the upside, and then we start breaking previous highs and so on. Okay, so this is what we're looking at in the immediate short term. What I want to do is, before I continue, we'll leave that as that to keep a little bit of a reference, but I want to look at the oscillators. Let's go look at what's happening here. The last little while, we see Spectral doing very well. It did get overbought, guys. It's clearly overbought. Okay, so this is one of the major concerns at this current moment, is that we're overbought. We're making higher highs on the momentum, higher highs on the momentum, and higher lows on the momentum suggests divergence. So we are getting some divergence across the the price action. You can see higher lows right there, and we are finally from a double bottom state making those higher lows, and we're diverging slowly to the upside. And you can see we finally got a bit of a follow through. We got the follow through where we got overbought. Now, one thing that I got to keep in mind, and you should keep this in mind, that in bullish conditions we stay in an overbought state for longer than expected. That's how we continue. That's how we get a trend to the upside, is that we lean towards staying overbought so that we can expand further than our retracements. If our expansions are not, strong, and our retracements are equally as strong, we'll be going sideways. We don't want to go sideways anymore, guys. We have volume with that green candle. We have a nice expansion to the upside. We're overbought. That's the concern right now. Now, since we're overbought with no class A or any bearish divergence here, do we finally get divergence at this level? It could be. And it could be that we go for another higher high as well. Just keep in mind, if we're looking for bearish divergence, what really needs to happen is, hear me out here, guys, because this is where things really get hectic. Let me make this small so we can get more real estate on the screen. And in addition to that, I'm going to show you what I mean by a divergence right now. It's because if we do come up and we make let's say, a lower high, okay, it's not a good look with momentum. Make a lower high, we're downward sloping. But what about if the price action double tops, or at best goes for another higher high? Okay, a higher high on the price action after consolidation, after the structure, fine, let it be. It means that we are making a higher high, but we're getting a class A bearish divergence. And that's what we're looking for. Now, we could even double top for a class B bearish divergence. That's also very possible. So this is what we have to pay attention to, is that at any moment, we could be forming a divergence, but it doesn't mean that the price is going to diverge instantly. In fact, we could get a triple drive of divergence where we see another lower low and still make downward sloping while we go for another higher high. And this is the problem in bearish conditions, and it's also in reverse in bearish conditions. And in bullish conditions, these things happen, guys. If you rewind time and look at my videos about a year ago, why we were in a very bearish state, guys, we were getting triple bullish divergences at the bottom of the range when momentum was down here, getting those divergences, and we were waiting for things to move and get follow through, and we weren't getting them. So what we have to anticipate is that we might get this scenario as well, where we make higher highs and higher lows in the price action, and we get multiple drives of bearish divergence. We didn't get not even one yet in the bullish state. So do we aggressively take profit? Now, this is where your convictions come in. Big picture, as far as the market scenario, are we in a bull run? Are we in an altcoin season? If you feel that we are, guys, I think that we're going to stay overbought longer than we think. So be careful out there. Retracements could be bought up real quick, and we can continue going for that higher high. And, we can invalidate bearish divergences. Don't forget that. That's another level. A lot of the times in bullish conditions, we invalidate the bearish divergences because we keep on cranking to the upside while, the price action or the momentum is falling. And then we go up for another higher high on momentum, and we invalidate all kinds of divergences. prices. So what we have to do right now is say, let's not be too greedy, number one, because that's very important, and just understand that a DCA strategy is absolutely fine, but I would be waiting for structure. Okay, again, wait for that structure, wait for some sort of confirmations, a few bottoms, a few tops. If you're on the sidelines, that would be the best case scenario. If you happen to take a bit of profit, feel free to DCA back in with those profits. But ultimately, Spectral did great breaking out. I'm waiting for structure for my next move. All right, guys, let's take a look at the trend. The trend is still good. The trend oscillator is suggesting that we are still diverging to the upside, and the expansion, EMA is facing up. Purple expansion is still full in effect. I know that this indicator is slightly more lagging than the RSI, so it does take its time to actually reflect the price action, but still, sometimes that's good because you don't want to make too quick decisions. You want to see if we're going to get a nice bounce off of this previous highs right here. If we get that structure and bounce, guys, we're doing good. We're going to see Spectral continue to fly. So keep in mind that we could dip down a little bit lower, but this is a good DCA zone to consider, you know, buying the dip if we do come down and back test. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Guys, I'm going to be live tonight at 8 p.m. EST. So don't forget, buy the dip.